Hello,
Hey, dude.
Norman, dude. What's going on, man?
It's just, I'm just chilling, man. It's Friday.
So, man, we just got done blasting a few tracks from your new record, The Dark Design, and it's amazing, dude. Like, super, super huge shout out for that, man. Like, tell us about it.
That one. God, man, I've been working on that album for like 8 years. Seriously. I started it in like 2015 or so.
Wow.
It was my first true solo album because the previous Skinner release was a band that we just called the band Skinner, but it was a full band. This time around, it was all me. So I just worked with a lot of different musicians over the years. It always took, it was always on the back burner, so to speak, because, it was my own thing and I was always busy with whatever bands I was in at the time. So, I just worked on it and kept being persistent and handpicked the songs, handpicked the people I wanted to work with and took my time with it. And, at the end, I had an album that kind of encapsulated everything I'm about, everything from clean singing to, core screaming and all different kinds of moods and just different kinds of metal. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you got a little bit of everything in there, and I love it, man. It's just, it's so huge, massive. It's just epic, dude. It's like,
I love that. And that's that word that a lot of people throw around, but yeah, I'll take it. Epic.
I know. I hate it, man. Like I can't think of any other word to really throw at this one, man, because it just is. Like, this is epic as fuck, man.
Right on. Yeah, I wasn't sure how it would be received, because I was like, if it doesn't do well, it's going to fall on me since it was all me,
Yeah.
But since I handpicked everything, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it's gotten killer reviews, and it seems people are digging what I was putting down. So
hell yeah, man, hell yeah. Well, speaking of stuff that's getting killer reviews, man, you are all over the place right now because you're singing for a band that some people might have heard of before, man. You're fucking Forbidden, dude. Like, how did this happen, man? Like,
that's, first it came out of the blue. But there were certain things that led up to it happening. And I'm just going to kind of skip through it real quick, but I just happened to be at the right show at the right time where some of those guys were hanging out. Had some drinks, hung out. I was watching Craig Lucicero's band that he was in called Dress the Dead. Mm-hmm. They had a show, Camacho was there, Contos was there. So, we're just all hanging out. Little did I know that, they were rehearsing with a whole bunch of different musicians for the Bay Area Interthrational, that they were going to go into Belgium and play the Dynamo Festival. So the problem with that is, so for those that don't know what Bay Area Interthrational is, first I'll touch on that. It's where they play a lot of we'll call it origin thrash songs, like the early stuff from the pioneers that started it all. Mm-hmm. And the thing is they get a lot of, famous dudes, but they can't play their own song. So like if you're in Death Angel, you can't play the Death Angel song. You got to play like something by Violence or something. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So they had a bunch of different guys playing a bunch of different songs, but they didn't have any singers that were in town. They had, singers from, Lamb of God and Death Angel and stuff, but they were out of town or they were on tour. So I guess Chris Contos said, hey, what about calling, Skinner? And I guess Craig was like, yeah, man, he's pretty good. I've heard him before. We'll get him in here if he's down to learn some songs. So I learned 12 different songs from a bunch of different thrash bands. And I just went in there for a few weekends and just, helped these guys run through these songs to kind of keep them on, to keep their changes and timings and everything on, because a lot of times it's easier to cue when you're listening for a vocal or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now what's funny is one of the 12 songs was Off the Edge by Forbidden. Thing is, I don't know why they had me learn it, because all the guys that were going to play that song, none of them were at these rehearsals. Now, all the guys that were in the 2008 Omega Wave lineup of Forbidden were there, So, they just kept skipping over that song. And I'm like, well, I learned this song. So I'm like, hey, what about this song? Craig's like, yeah, we can run through it. So I guess I nailed it pretty, I guess I impressed everybody. Enough so. And plus the fact I was willing to learn the 12 songs and keep coming back and being professional. They invited me to do the San Francisco show. And they're like, hey, let's have you do another Forbidden song. So they gave me Chalice of Blood. I ended up doing like 8 different songs that night, but the Chalice of Blood one just went over huge. So fast forward, I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm expecting a call, maybe for some more Bay Area and thrational stuff, because they mentioned that they'd like to take me, to Europe to do a couple songs next time they do that. So I was excited. I was like, hell yeah, man. I'm going to get to jam with all these guys and I get to go to Europe. It's going to be awesome. And I guess what happened during that time is Alcatraz Festival called Craig because Anthrax dropped out because of logistic issues. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, hey, it's the 35th anniversary of Forbidden Evil. We know that Russ is retired. He's no longer doing music. Would it be possible for you to get Forbidden together to do a show, maybe with another singer? And could you also bring Chris Contos? Because I guess they were big fans of Contos. And Forbidden didn't have a drummer anyway, because Mark Hernandez had quit during the Omega Wave tour back in like 2008, I believe. So, I guess that was the final light bulb that kind of did it. And Craig was like, I'm going to call Norman. So he called the other guys first, and then he reached out to me, and I thought he was calling about Bay Area and Thrational. He's like, hey, would you be interested in, doing Forbidden, a new version of Forbidden? I was like, yeah. And it just happened like that, man. Just,
Wow.
Right place, right time. I put in the work for something completely different. And, yeah, they asked, and I said, hell yes.
Man, that is super cool. That is super cool, dude. So you guys, how many live dates do you guys have coming up? Can you announce that kind of stuff, or?
So sort of yes and no. I can say that so we are doing the Alcatraz Festival, which is August 11th in Belgium. We are doing a warm-up show. I don't believe it's been announced yet, 2 days before. And that's one of those, like, a festival will put on a smaller club show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's still part of the Alcatraz Festival, but it's like a pre-party type thing. So, it's going to be small. I think only like 100 people, but the festival itself is like 25,000. So for me, that's perfect because, I don't want to step out on the stage for my very first time doing the Forbidden material in front of 25,000. 100 sounds like a great warm up. I'm down for that. You know what I mean? You feel me? But other than that, we do have, I believe, at least 3 other dates that have been confirmed for 2023, 2024, and a whole ton of offers that have not been concrete yet. So I can't announce what they are yet because they're not announced, but there are lots of things in the works.
That's cool though. So there's a lot of stuff that's coming, hopefully.
Yeah.
As far as new music with the guys, are you guys planning on recording some new music at some point, or?
Yes. So I know that so with Forbidden, Craig is the he's the main lyricist of that band. He has been. I mean, Russ would assist him with ideas and things, and they would powwow. And I believe we're going to try to do something similar. I'm going to kind of step back from a lyricist role as far as Forbidden goes, and just let Craig continue that. So, and then what I'll do is when he's ready, then I might come in and give a couple little ideas or little things here and there. But for the most part, I'm going to see how his process works. I know that he's already started writing lyrics. I know that he and Steve are starting to kick riffs back and forth. So I know that by this time next year, he wants to be in the studio recording. So this whole next year between shows, there's going to be a lot of writing going on. So new album with me on it is definitely in the works. Very super early stages. I haven't heard anything yet. So hell, I haven't even had my first rehearsal with them. That happens on the 20th. So I'll be in the first room. I'll be in the room with them for the first time on the 20th. Actually jamming these Forbidden Evil songs. So it should be awesome.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So, what are some of the songs that what are some of your favorite songs so far that you've done with them?
So far I've only done live 2 songs, right? Off the Edge and Chalice of Blood, and the Chalice of Blood one was with Warbringer, and so technically I've only played Off the Edge with these guys in a rehearsal a couple times, like twice I think. So I haven't actually got a chance to play anything with them. But as far as the songs that I've been learning off of the first album, since that's all I can really announce that we're playing so far, so everyone knows that we're going to play that first album since it's the anniversary. They just don't know what else we're going to play. But off that first album, the title track, Forbiddenly Evil, is awesome. I love that one. I love Off the Edge. Chalice of Blood is of course awesome. Feel No Pain is a really cool one as well. So, there's some good stuff.
Hell yeah. I know they used to do a cover of Judas Priest, Victim of Changes.
Oh, yeah.
Any plans on you doing that as well, or?
I don't know. I'm down.
You could definitely...
I can sing that song.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, and I love Priest. I've always been... I love Maiden and Priest, but that whole thing, Maiden or Priest, I always kind of leaned towards Priest myself, so...
Yeah. I was thinking about that when I was listening to it the other day. I was like, man, he's right in the pocket for this, dude. Like, it's perfect, man. Like, it really is cool. I can't wait to hear the new stuff, man. Seriously.
Yeah, you just got to write it.
It's very...
But yeah, I'm actually, I think I'm more worried about that or more nervous about new material than I am the old stuff. The old stuff, it's like I'm going to deliver it as close to the original as I can, but also keeping my own style, my own voice. Like some of the screams and things, I'll do them my way as opposed to Russ's way. So it'll sound great. It'll just be like, oh, yeah, oh, okay. I see the subtle little differences, you know what I mean? But as far as the new material, that's where I get a little worried. That's what keeps me up at night, man. That's sitting there going, I want to make sure it sounds very much Forbidden. And I've been doing power metal for so many years, or even power thrash, but straight thrash, it's been so long. So I'm really just like diving into the thrash pond again and like getting rebaptized, so to speak. So yeah. I'm ready. It should be fun, but I just really want to hope. I just hope that I deliver.
Oh yeah,
a killer new Forbidden album. You know what I mean?
I think you'll be able to handle it, dude. And I mean, like you were saying, like you guys are going to be playing all these shows. You're gonna be playing with the band and basically rehearsing all that stuff. So.
Yeah, I think the more I sing the style again, the more it's just going to kind of come back to me like, oh yeah, all right, that's right, speed and attack and attitude. That's right, that's what this is about. So,
hell yeah, man. So what was your first thoughts like when this first happened, man? Like what ran through your head?
I don't know, man. I think I was just like, wow, this is cool. I don't think I looked at a big picture or anything. I was just like, wow, I get to be in a band with these guys. I think that, that was my first thought was, wow, I get to be in a band with these guys. Because these are guys that I've known as acquaintances. We weren't tight friends or anything because, I was a couple of years younger. I was a teenager going to watch them at these, legendary clubs in the Bay Area and just looking up to them and listening to their albums and wearing their shirts. So, I think when that call came, I reverted back to, like a 17-year-old kid just going like, holy shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think my first thought was just, wow, I get to be in a band with these guys.
Hell yeah, man. Well, as far as your own stuff, your own projects, because I know you got like a million different things that you're always doing. What other kind of things do you have in the pipeline in the future?
Well, I've kind of tailored it back. I did a couple of years ago. I stepped away from a Magica again. I stepped away from Hellscream. So really, I just have the two. We'll call them the two performing bands, right? So now there's Forbidden, which is obviously my number one priority, and then I have my power metal band Nevayan, which for Nevayan we have our third album. We just signed off on the mixes for our third album today. The artwork's being done, so that's going to be next. That's going to be my next release, and it sounds crushing. It's basically right where our last album, The Ruthless Divine, left off. It runs the gambit. If you guys, anyone that knows the band, it's for those that don't know Divine, we are heavy U.S. power metal. So, we walk a fine line. A lot of people say, a lot of people compare us to bands, but I think the best reference that I like, somebody said it was like if Amon Amarth and Primal Fear had a baby.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, all right, I dig that. That works. So yeah, we're a really heavy U.S. Power metal band. So third album's on the way. And then of course we'll start writing again for album number 4 when we have time. And then for Skinner doesn't perform. Skinner is my solo stuff, so that's just studio. But I'm actually working on a couple covers. I have a 4. It's 4 EPs. They're all one big long concept. So it's like a continuing 4 album concept story. And about over 75% of it's written with musicians, various people I've been working with. I started it years ago, but I still have some more work to do on it. So I think I'm gonna work on like a little covers EP that I might release digitally just to hold people over. So I'm still kind of putting some content out.
Oh, that would be really cool, man.
Yeah, but that's about it for me. I mean, right now, most of my time is literally just, cramming forbidden material in my head and learning as much of it as I can. So,
hell yeah, man. Well, yeah, I can imagine you're pretty busy with that, and I know I saw you talking about it on Facebook the other day. You were saying that your friend requests were going through the roof, and
oh yeah, I'm maxed. It's maxed out. So what I do is I'm checking it daily, and for some reason I see I don't know if some just accounts get deleted or something, but I'll notice 1 or 2 drop off, and then I'll just go to my friend requests. I'm like, who has the most, common friends? Oh, this guy's got 230 common friends. All right, you get the spot. So yeah. I'm just doing it that way. But if people really want to connect with me, Instagram's great, right? Because there's no limit on that. So.
Hell yeah. And you guys are getting pulled for the press left and right too, I imagine.
Yeah. The majority of the forbidden interviews and stuff, of course, will be fielded by Craig because, he's the guy from the beginning. He knows the history. He knows all the little details, all the fine everything, right? But I've been getting a decent amount as well because people, I think, just want to talk to the new guy. They're like, we want to hear from the new singer. We want to see how this happened. A lot of people don't know who I am. So it's fun. I've been used to being in multiple projects and running my own, always working with a PR company. I'm used to doing a lot of interviews and radio shows and things. So, I definitely am getting a lot more requests since the news broke.
I probably should have reached out to the guys and gotten done this as a group interview, but I don't know. I already knew you on Facebook, so I was just like, I got to get him on here, man.
Oh yeah, man. Just when this is done, if you want, what I'll do is I'll kick you over our management's email, and you can get Craig because he'll be able to give you some killer history interview on the band if you're into that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man, for sure.
Because if you ask me a bunch of stuff, historical forbidden questions, I'm gonna be like, I don't know, man. I was in the front row headbanging. I don't know what was going on behind the curtain. So
yeah. I know. I'm always asking the band how did you come up with the band name and stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah,
the only thing I know about that is they had to change it from Forbidden Evil to Forbidden at some point.
Hell yeah, man. Well, it's super awesome, dude. Super proud of you, man, and happy for you, dude. This is some really cool stuff, and can't wait to hear some new music and hopefully see you guys play live somewhere around here, man. I don't know.
Yeah, where are you based out of?
I'm in Tennessee.
Tennessee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling that next year we'll be somewhere near you.
Hell yeah, dude. Be awesome, man.
I'm like, you can read into that whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm about out of questions for you. Is there anything else you want to let the people know?
So obviously, since a lot of people don't know who I am, I'm the new guy. If anyone's interested in hearing what I have previously done or just learn some more about me, I have my own website. It's www.normanskinner.net. And I got, I got all my official videos on there. I got merchandise. I even have my own playlist on there that basically has every song that's been released off of like the 16, 17 albums I've released in my career. So it's like 160 plus songs on there. So there's a lot. So anybody that's just wants to do a deep dive or even check out a little bit, head to normanskinner.net. Other than that, hit me up on the socials. I mean, I'm as you know, I'm totally sociable. So I reply to any messages I get, and I try to just be, cool with everyone. So.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, before I let you go, can I get you to make us a station tag?
Yeah, man.
All right. Whenever you're ready, say something like, "This is Norman Skinner from Forbidden, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio."
Absolutely. Hey, metalheads, this is Norman Skinner from Forbidden, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Hell yeah. Like a pro, man, every time.
Not a problem, brother.
All right, man.
Hey.
Well, thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to us, dude. Really appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. You have a great night, buddy.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
There you have it, folks. Norman Skinner live on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation Radio. Like I said earlier, put your speakers in your windows, put them in your front lawns, put them in your neighbor's driveway, put them if you're in the basement, duct tape them to the ceiling. If you're in the attic, point them at the floor. Do whatever you got to do.